I'm going to throw this anecdote in there. My audience love me when I do anecdotes. So the other day I was doing a podcast, and I gave an anecdote about something, and somebody commented back on me. Says, I want the rest of the story, so they want me to do a podcast on that anecdote. But
Mhm.
on the topic of quality and the quality in the eyes of the beholder, years ago I won this customer here in Canada, and I was happy because the customer, I was winning the customer. That's pretty good. And we started doing business with them. We put like the best translators, and this is another topic for a different day. When you have overqualified translators doing the job, sometimes these translators have PhD, master degrees, etc., and they're very qualified. They went to reputable universities. They studied well, graduated respectively. And then a few weeks later, I got a call from the same customer telling me that our quality no good. I said, "Excuse me? What do you mean our quality no good?" He said, "Well, we took your content and we sent it to our depot, and their depot is in northeast of Quebec. In a Gaspésie area. That's way north in the St. Lawrence area." And so I said, "You sent it to your depot up there?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, well, let me guess. The content was being read by or consumed or being interacted with your drivers, your mechanics." He said, "Yep." I said, "I'm not asking any more questions."
Mhm.
I know now that we gave you official translation the way the translation should be. In that region, which I'm familiar with, there's a what we call a language mix, meaning that sometimes you have French, sometimes you have English, sometimes you have Aboriginal language words going inside the content. Somebody needs to set the policy which language you would like us to have. Second,
Mhm.
two is that you translate it to French. Official translation is correct, is according to everything that the professional translators knows. But then you gotta get down to the level is where do you draw the line? Is at the preference of each individual user or at the policy of a company, or it becomes more of a this is where I go back to quality. Somebody needs to set the quality standard and just get it over and done with instead of going down and starting to answer to every single person. My cousin Joe doesn't say it that
Yeah.
way. Like, are you kidding
Yep.
me?
Yep. But sometimes it's a matter of making sure that the reading level is correct, or that that other stylistic things, or the conciseness or not, that there are a lot of different
Mm-hmm.
things that could be necessary. And your PhD translators, they could have done any one of them if they knew which one you wanted. And I think
Correct.
that that's often the mismatch, is when people have an expectation that isn't clear, and that's where so much of the disappointment can come in, because you can produce something that is technically correct but not fit for that particular intent.